In this video, I'd like to share about comparisons. And why I thought about this is because I often catch myself drifting away from why I'm doing certain things in the first place, such as creating content and also doing the work that I do for my business. And I think this is also because that with the easy access of technology nowadays and social media, it's so accessible to just take your phone and just look through social media or content rather, because especially for me as an aspiring content creator, it's something that I have to kind of like get involved in if I want to be part of this process, because sometimes I have to do some research or just learning certain new things. And then because of that, it automatically kind of gives me that opportunity to just wonder if I were to compare myself to, say, a successful content creator or a celebrity, then it's going to put me in a spot where I'll be thinking, can I really achieve what he or she has done? So I did a little bit of digging and I found this theory called social comparison theory. And what it says is that there's going to be a comparison type, which is an upwards comparison type and a downwards comparison type. With the upwards comparison, it's comparing yourself to someone that is better than you, so to speak, to give yourself the opportunity to improve according to what were the steps taken before by this successful creator or the successful person that you're following, so that you can plan out how you want to take your journey towards making whatever you're doing successful. And the dangers of that is if you were to make that comparison, then there is also that chance of risking that motivation that you have. Because if you get drawn too deep into comparing yourself too often, there is a chance of just spiraling down into comparing yourself all the time, which doesn't make you feel good, because then it's giving a reason for yourself to doubt your abilities. And I often find that a lot of the times when I'm not careful of like how much social media or content that I'm consuming, because it's a double-edged sword, right? You can compare to help you improve, but you can also compare and then find yourself, if you compare yourself too much, there is a chance of spiraling down. And with the downwards comparison, it's something that people use as an emotional coping strategy as well, because as an example, if I were to be playing any games and if I find myself losing, sometimes I look at the people who are not as good as me and just think, okay, I'm not too bad. I'm still better than this guy. And I feel that that is just like I would say a cheap strategy to just make myself temporarily feel good about myself, but it doesn't really fix that problem of that emotion, that negative emotion that has arisen. And what I'm doing by doing that downwards comparison is actually fueling that negative emotion. Because if I think about it more, doing all these comparisons is kind of like reaffirming or validating all those feelings that I'm feeling at that point of time, which is probably not great for the long term. It's not something that is a permanent fix for myself, because if it's an emotional problem that I'm having, it's only going to be a temporary fix when I'm doing all these comparisons, and it may even just change the behavior that I have at that point of time. And maybe if I do this for the long term, it's going to change my behavior over the long term, because then it's going to be forming a habit, and that's what we really don't want. And if you think about it a little bit more, it's quite rare to find ourselves comparing so much if we are happy and content with where we are at. However, if we are feeling down, if we spiral down too much into comparisons, then it might even affect our work in such a way that even if we are doing something right and well, there is that risk of, if I were to compare too much, I will give myself some self-doubt to think that, maybe I don't want to spend too much. I don't know how long it will take for me to get to this level. I'm going to doubt my abilities. And then that's where it starts to destroy that motivation that we have. And the solution that comes to mind immediately would be to cut out social media or consuming content, right? But that's going to be tough to implement, especially as a content creator or someone that is looking to find educational info about certain things. And then sometimes by chance you just scroll through someone who's successful in your industry and then you get triggered. You might get triggered or not. But there's always that risk of your attention being sucked into someone's content who has very catchy content. So even if you are able to detox from social media for a while, And once you get back on it again, there's going to be that chance of getting sucked in again. So it's not really an easy solution to implement. However, if you work on finding out why those emotions are arising within you, to start doing those comparison and target those particular negative emotions that you are feeling to see how you can resolve them, that's going to be an easier way to find a better solution to kind of fixing that particular behavior pattern. And why you may find yourself doing all these comparisons is because of all the negative emotions that is fueling that. So I hope this particular content can spark some insights for yourself and allow you to do some reflecting if you are in a situation where you find yourself comparing a lot. Because by comparing a lot as well, it's kind of keeping us away from being content and happy with where we are currently at as well. So the key here is also to find that balance for yourself and work through observing any behavior patterns that may arise, to work through any potential negative emotions, and that can help you to work through these habits of comparing. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and if you enjoyed this particular piece of content, feel free to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.